Thanks, Noelle. Everybody's heard of Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, but few folks have heard of the second most important reindeer, Bernie. Bernie was not very popular, and Santa had a hard time finding him a job. They tried to put him in the workshop to help the elves make toys, but his antlers kept knocking everything down. They tried to put him in the kitchen to help with Christmas dinner, but all the yams, hams, and shish kebabs they put in front of him tended to disappear. Bernie also did not like going outside, and he was very clumsy, so he was not going to join the sleigh team. They didn't know what to do. Finally, someone realized Bernie was a very friendly reindeer. He listened and talked to everyone and was very understanding. So they decided to put him in the North Pole call center to take those important incoming calls for Santa. It was a perfect fit. Bernie, the red phone reindeer. Back to you at the North Pole Central Station.
Thanks, Noelle, for that update. You know, a lot of people think that Rudolph is the most famous reindeer, but there's actually another one that's just as famous. His name is Bernie. Santa really liked Bernie, so Santa was trying to get Bernie a job. So Santa sent him over to make toys, but he kept knocking over everything with his antlers. So then they sent him to the kitchen and they were like, here, you can help us cook, but all the yams and hams and shish kebabs that they gave him, he just ate them. So finally they moved him over to the call center where he became Bernie with the red phone. Get it? Instead of Bernie with the red nose. And yeah, back to you, Noelle.
I've got a story for you. And so Noelle, thank you for the update. You guys, a lot of people think that Rudolph from the red-nosed reindeer fame is the most famous reindeer, but actually there was another reindeer out there that is arguably equally as famous, and especially in this learning and development world that we work in. His name is Bernie. And here's the deal. Santa loved Bernie as much as he loved Rudolph, you could say, maybe if not more. But Bernie had issues getting a job, and Santa really wanted to help him get a job. He sent him to the toy shop, but he kept knocking over all the toys with his antlers. It's kind of a pain. The second job that they gave him was in the kitchen, but he kept on eating the yams and the hams and the shish kebabs. It was, it didn't work out. And so finally, in true learning and development fashion, always trying to help people and find what they're really good at, they sent Bernie over to the call center. And this is how we get Bernie with the red phone, equally as famous as whoever that other guy is with the red nose. And that's the story. Back to you, Noelle.
The story that I would like to share with you that I heard from Kassy is, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Bernie the Red Phone Reindeer. So according to what I learned about, Rudolph wasn't the only famous reindeer, along with his buddies that we know about in the song. There was another reindeer that was just as famous, as at least in the North Pole environment. And his name was Bernie. That's right, Bernie. But Bernie wasn't very good at flying the sleigh for Santa. He wasn't very good at other jobs he was given at the North Pole, except for one. And that's the one that Bernie became famous for. And Bernie, he made a killing when it came to the customer service and the call center. So Bernie became famous because of his red phone, not his red nose, but Bernie, the red phone reindeer. That's a beautiful story, and I'm grateful that Bernie made it and found his happy place. And now it's up to you, whoever's next in the chain.
Okay, I'm here to tell you a story about one of the lesser known reindeers in Santa Claus's brood of reindeers, right? I'm here to tell you this story, not about Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. I'm here to tell you about Bernie, not Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, but Bernie, the red phone reindeer. Now, let me tell you how that happened. So Bernie, being a reindeer hanging out in the North Pole, Santa Claus was like, hey, we should get you in front of the sleigh. We should do some stuff, right? And Bernie's like, sure, we'll try that out. Turns out he was terrible at it, but not just leading the sleigh. He was terrible at all the stuff, right? Couldn't decorate trees, couldn't wrap presents, couldn't really oversee the elves, couldn't do any of that stuff. Had no clue, just all over the place, right? He's all paws, couldn't do it. So Santa, being the cool cat that he is, helped him along in figuring out his special purpose, right? His, where he fits the best. And it turns out Bernie was absolutely amazing on the phone, right? In a call center, on the helpline, he was doing his thing over and over again and killing it, right? Absolutely killing it. Like it's this job, like could not get enough. So it turns out that his special purpose, his special calling was literally being on the phone and answering calls and helping Santa's workshop that way, right? ROI's up, customer complaints are down, and Bernie became known as Bernie, the red phone reindeer, because they gave him a red phone. So Bernie, the red phone reindeer, in his own special way, also continues to improve and save Christmas every year.